Hey guys, it's Friday, August 21st. The time is 6:21 p.m. and the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. I'm here on the southeast end of downtown, across from the historic Distillery District. This is the Parliament Street entrance. And this is a look east down Mill Street. The main entrance is just a few blocks to the east from here. And the plan for this walk is to walk around the Distillery District a bit. We'll take a look at a lot of the old buildings here and shops, restaurants, boutiques, and cafes and see how they're doing. It's also something of a permanent art installation. And then I think I'll keep on heading east to the Canary District. And I'll probably finish up at Underpass Park. This area was started in the early 1800s by the Gooderham and Worts Distillery Company. And it functioned as a distillery until I think 1990. And this area was open to pedestrians in 2003. There's dozens of older buildings in the Distillery District, mostly dating back to the mid to late 1800s. And there's also a fair bit of newer condos mixed in with the historic buildings. And it has just started to rain.
I was that with. What the fuck? Kind of nice. Yeah. Smells really good.
We'll take this opportunity to head through this building. Looks like that was the lobby to one of the newer condos they've built here. They've started springing up in the mid to late 2000s. And there's actually several more newer condos and apartments on the way for this area. And I was not expecting it to rain, but it looks like it might be clearing up.
There's the basement, which is like it's not fully basement, it's not fully underground. Yeah, I get to it. It's yeah, I'm
It's still coming down, just very lightly. I don't have an umbrella or anything to cover my camera with. This area was designated as a National Historic Site of Canada by the federal government. And that was done in 1988. We're coming towards the main courtyard area here. And this is Izumi, a sake brewery. There's been nearly 1,000 movies and TV shows that have been filmed, at least in part, in this area. Some of the ones that come to mind are Chicago. I can think of Cinderella Man. And of course, Tommy Boy, starring Chris Farley. And this was actually the first place I ate outside at a restaurant since the pandemic started. The way it works is these tables all have a number, and you just pull up their mobile website and place an order at one of 3 different restaurants. There's also a beverage option as well. I think that's run by one of the bars here. And you order and you pay on your phone and they bring it out to you. So this is the south end of the Distillery District. And there's Balzac's Coffee. That's been a mainstay here for quite a while. So I'll cut down this street just on my right here, and this will loop me back into the main courtyard area. Every year they hold a large outdoor Christmas market here, although the fate of that for this year remains to be seen. It's probably the most popular event that they hold in the Distillery District. And this here is the Mill Street Beer Hall. Mill Street was a small local craft brewery that started in 2003, I believe, but they've since been purchased by one of the big breweries, I think it was Molson, and have relocated most of their brewing away from the Distillery District. But they've maintained a fairly prominent presence in this area. And Gooderham and Warts itself was acquired by the Hiram Walker company, so their brand at least lives on in name through them. There is Clooney. I believe that's one of the restaurant options you can order from at the patio section that's in the courtyard. And that's the Cherry Street eastern entrance. And there's a performing arts theater there. That's also home to the George Brown College Theater School. So I'm just heading back to the main courtyard area. There's a lot more vendors here during the Christmas market. There's a lot of food vendors and other stores selling various knickknacks and arts and crafts. Of course, all the galleries and stores are open as well during that time, and there's a small carnival set up at the south end of this courtyard here. Here's one of the many Instagrammable moments in the Distillery District. And I think this main street here is called Trinity Street. So the way this works, this is new since the coronavirus. Somewhere on there is a table number. This is AR8. So you just pull up their mobile site, enter that number in, place your order, and they'll bring you your food and drink. One of the options is a Mexican restaurant. That's what I had. It was something in the neighborhood of $14 for 2 tiny tacos with nothing on the side. But it was nice to actually eat restaurant food, if you could call it that. This is the Spirit of York. It's a local distillery here. I assume they make various spirits. I've often gone in there during the Christmas market just as a place to warm down a bit, as it's often quite cold. And if you are planning to come to the Christmas market, if they do decide to go with it, it's much better to come during a weekday when they're open. You can avoid massive lineups as well as admission fees. So this is Mill Street, and that's the skyline off to the west. And what I'll do is I'll head east here over through the Canary District. There's really not much more to see in the Distillery District. There is a railroad track just to the south of here, and the Don River is just to the east. So I assume this location is somewhat strategic. You can see there were a lot of other older industrial buildings in this area. But I think Gooderham and Worts was the last holdout from that era that was still operating here. And again, I think they closed in 1990. And it was purchased by a private consortium in 2001, and it was later opened to the public a few years later, and Mill Street Brewery moved in. And I remember a company I worked for, it was actually TD Bank, back in probably 2005, I want to say. I say we as if I'm the company. They rented out the courtyard there and had our summer event. It was privately catered. I'm not sure that would even be possible anymore. So we're walking along the north end of the Distillery District, and this here is Cherry Street. And it didn't occur to me to turn around and get a picture looking south of the main entrance. So I did take one on my way in, so maybe if I remember during editing, I'll throw that up on the screen now. I apologize for that. Sometimes when you're filming these things, there's a lot going through your mind. So this is where you can enter the Distillery District from the eastern side. Not sure how clear that'll be with the sun straight ahead. I'll take this opportunity to jaywalk. You can see a number of new developments going up right across the street. And this is the Distillery streetcar loop, where one of the King Street streetcars terminates and turns around. Just to the south of here is Lake Ontario. So this neighborhood just on the right here is the Canary District. It sort of popped up quite recently. I want to say 2015. There were 6 large condos constructed to serve as residences for the Pan American Games, which were held in Toronto. They certainly made a big deal of it, and a fairly heavy investment, but I think those kind of landed with a bit of a thud. So this area has a bit of a industrial feel to it. There's some of the new buildings in the Canary District. I'm just heading north here, and I'll turn right on Front Street, which is sort of the main street cutting through this area. We're in a part of the city known as the the Corktown. I wasn't thinking straight there for a second. Maybe it was that sudden rain that threw me off, who knows? And I'm sure these parking lots won't be around here much longer. And just coming up here on the right is a very special building. Kind of looking at it from the back end right now. And this is the old Cherry Street Hotel. And this is where this entire district gets its name from. As on the corner used to be the Canary Grill, I think it was called, often referred to as the Canary Restaurant. And it was here since 1965. And ironically, it closed in 2007, and the owners blamed all the development in the area for the slowdown in business. It was kind of a mainstay of this area, and it had a big neon canary sign in front of it. And right now it seems to be quite vacant. So it started life off as a hotel. I want to say in the mid-1800s. And it served a few different purposes since then, of course. You can actually get a look right inside. Would probably have been better if I had a filter on my camera. So this area was built with the idea of having a lot of families move in. Because often the condos in this city are just studios and one-bedrooms and one-bedroom plus lofts. There's not many two-bedroom or even three-bedroom. Those are extremely rare. There's some affordable, low-cost city housing in this area, as well as student housing for George Brown College. And there's been continuous condo development in the area since. So a whole neighborhood that's somewhat planned has sort of sprung up. And one thing that's for certain when you walk through this area is it certainly doesn't feel organic. I believe that's George Brown College right there. They have locations now all over the city. But this really doesn't feel like a neighborhood that just sort of came to be in time. It's almost what you think a suburban planned city would feel like. It's not a knock, it's just an observation. I'd certainly have no problems living here. Just to the north you have King Street and Queen Street East, both of which have streetcars. And just to the northeast of here is the Riverdale neighborhood. And there's no shortage of public space and amenities. Looks like the fountains are turned on straight ahead. You don't see that too often during these pandemic days. Looks like there's some vacant storefronts on the left. It's interesting seeing areas of the city during the virus, as they all seem to resemble sort of a hollowed out version of their normal selves, but this area has never been particularly high trafficked. I think it's mostly locals. that would be hanging out here. The Aviary, Craft Beer and Sports. I think that's a tip of the old cap to the Canary Grill. They seem to be doing a pretty healthy business. And there's even a Sukhothai here. I've talked about that restaurant a number of times on this channel. One of the best places to get a bowl of khao soi in the city. They have a location on Wellington Street West in the Financial District, and another one on Dundas Street West. And straight ahead is Corktown Common Park. So this is the south end of Bayview Avenue, which is a major street that runs north to south along the Don Valley Parkway. I've been down here on my bicycle in several videos before. I think we're getting some rain right now. Yeah, it looks like we're getting another shower right now. I was hoping I could get all the way to Underpass Park. Let's see where this takes us around here. There's one of the butterflies. Oh, and a rabbit. Hey, buddy. He's very calm. I'm just gonna let him be. I've got my hand hovering over the camera here, just trying to keep it from becoming a victim. Maybe there's a sheltered spot. I don't like editing my videos. I much prefer them to all be sort of one continuous shot. That's why I waited out the rain last time. Really sort of goes with the idea of taking a walk. And this is Lawren Harris Square. So I hopefully can make it to Underpass Park without soaking the camera here. So that's just near the foot of the Don River right there. Well, this is turning out to be more of an adventure than I had planned, but the destination is just up here ahead. And I think that's Eastern Avenue. I just want to make sure my camera's not soaked. Yeah, so if I can remember correctly, this is the overpass for Eastern Avenue and Adelaide Street. Wow, it's really coming down here. There's apparently a skate park here. Which would be straight ahead. A lot of art, similar art can be found over on King Street East, which run underneath Adelaide and Richmond Street. I've never actually been this far east in Underpass Park before. There's a look at Bayview Avenue where we just were. That curls up and makes a right into the area we just were. And I'll just head over to the other side of Underpass Park, and I think I'll call it a video. I was thinking about testing my luck with another live stream after this. I don't want to walk through the skate park area. I'm sure there's no shortage of all kinds of sprains and broken bones that come out of that area, but that's part of the joys of living in Canada, I guess. Just go to the doctor and get it all fixed up, and you don't have to worry about any bills or anything like that. I don't know what they're doing. I'm assuming some type of exercise. All right, well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this walk through the Distillery and Canary Districts over to Underpass Park. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd like to thank Jeanette, one of this channel's patrons, who requested this walk. Well, she requested the Distillery District part, but I'll be back and do a night walk through there as well at some point. And I'll check out the Christmas market if that ever opens up. And speaking of Patreon, there are links to that as well as Instagram in the description. So let me know your thoughts and comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.